Oh, oh.
Ciao a tutte e tutte, hi, ciao e
Hello,
Nara,
Ciao, hello,
ciao,
ciao,
buonasera. Thanks for,
buonasera.
buonasera.
hi, thanks for being with us. Um, Let me say hi to the audience too. Di nuovo buonasera, ciao, io sono Priscilla del Mix Festival, che spero conosciate, chi non lo conosce. Ecco, il Mix è il festival di cinema LGBTQ+ e cultura queer di Milano. Abbiamo fatto la 37esima edizione a fine settembre. E parlerò in inglese se va bene, uh, se vi va bene. Sì? Okay. All right, so we can talk in English. Unfortunately, we don't know Portuguese yet. So thank you guys for being with us tonight. We are really happy and privileged to have seen this film. Just for you to know, this film was premiered in Venice for Italy this year, and so now it is in theaters. And I have a couple of questions for you both, but also I welcome all of you guys with your questions if you have anything for Tiago and Nara. So, guys, we know that this film comes from personal experience, sort of. I know that at least it's have some biographical elements in that. Nara, if I'm not wrong, you have lived in the place where the film is shot, and if I'm not wrong, you guys have also uh, shot a short film before developing the feature, and this is your first feature, Nara, if I'm not wrong, whereas Chao have another documentary on the books. So I'm curious to know about how the idea of the feature film came through, and yeah, what was the inspiration to do
Yeah.
it, and what was your personal experience in the place in which the film is shot?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we did a short in 2014 about this girl, Heartless, that I used to hear about in the place I used to live in the northeast of Brazil. And I never met Heartless, but was a girl with a daughter of a fisherman with a peacemaker on her heart. And I heard about her from my friends, my male friends. And years later, I studied with Tião, and I was talking about these and my memories at the beach. And he said, "Oh, this could be a film," you know? And we did a short film. It was very nice because we met also Eduarda Samara, that plays the role of Heartless in the short and in the feature. And when we did the short, we developed like a very strong relation with the kids that shot, the actors, and with Eduardo Samara. And I also had other experiences, and that we wanted to portray, and we decided to make this feature based, but mainly based in the memories of some kids of the short, you know, like for example Galego, that used to it was an actor from the film, and it inspired us a lot. And I was doing the same time my short film called 𝐍𝐴 that's autobiographical. And when we were writing the feature, we decided to put this girl Tamara, inspired in my own memories. Like I used to live there, and I had to leave to a bigger city, and I was discovering my sexuality at the same time. So we because in the short it was a boy coming from the city, and we decided to in the feature to put Tamara as the main character that goes through her look, you know, through her gaze in this even too heartless. It was more or less like this, but maybe Tom can talk a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much about how we started the project, and we shot both on where Nara grew up, which is 𝐍𝐴 near a bigger city, but also where the actress Duda and her father lives. That's a bit farther away. That now the city gets closer and closer to the beaches, and the very few environments that we could find that would be like the place where Nara grew up in the 90s. Nowadays it was much farther away from the city now, and even that place changed a lot since the short. The short, it was very paradisiac, and now we have to find it. It was really hard to find small glimpses of beautiful landscapes between resorts they are building there. But I think it's pretty good to begin with.
Yeah, and I just a curiosity, I shot in the house that I used to live there. We went there and we shot there, so it was very interesting also to go back to shoot.
Wow, yeah, thanks. And what Tiao was just mentioning is that it was nice to be good back to shot, but in fact the place was very different. So I wouldn't expect that. This is really interesting to hear because nature, in fact, is quite a character of the film. It's we can say it's a little bit as equal as the people that live the community and the people that live the place. So yeah, I think it's been quite a challenge in the writing to put nature in the right place when the landscape has changed so much. But I also think that you guys have been very good in putting a lot of elements that speak in this film, because this is obviously a film about, we can say, a coming of age of Tamara. But it is also like a film on friendship. The friendship element is very strong, and I very liked the way in which this group of friends is depicted. Notwithstanding their differences, they are very solid. They're very much one group. So there's a Tamara Gates, but in that way, I think that Tamara fits very nicely in the place she lives, and I have also felt how, in a way, yeah, there is a conflict in her, kind of like discovering herself, not necessarily coming out, but discovering herself in a very nicely way, whereas all the conflicts is outside herself and outside her relationship in the house. It's also a film about family, because the relationships of the parents or the father, in the case of Heartless, are very sweet, are all very supporting and welcoming. So I find it pretty interesting that it's a film. As any film, there are conflicts for a story to be told, but the conflict is kind of outside, and there is outside of the main characters that have their own way to stay in the world. And then there's the whale element, the magic, which I imagine, I haven't seen the short, but I imagine there wasn't in the short. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm curious to know about these two things, how you built. If my read on the conflict is something that makes sense with you, and how about the magic element? What's in that whale? What does that whale mean for the story and for the characters?
Yeah, this case of the conflict is very interesting because it's actually we built this relation of group. Actually, it's really like we have Tamara, we have Heartless, but it's mainly the group, and it's like the outside world is calling little by little. You know, they are protected somehow, but they start to see that something is pulling them out. So it's very complex, and I think we wanted to portray also this group and also this family and the social conflicts and different classes and things that is very common when we grow up in a beach like this. We just go hang out with the kids to the sea, and we don't really know the difference, you know. And then when we start to grow, or when things from outside start to catch, so it's okay, so it's not like this, you know. And Tabara is starting to understand also this, because she's going out, and okay, and then the friend says, okay, bring me with you, because, you know, he has in the same condition. So she starts also to understand this adult world, and also this violence that's very present in the place we shot, and all in the northeast coast of Brazil. I'm here at a beach in a festival in another state of Brazil, in a small community, and it's very. We showed the film yesterday, and they feel very represented, because it's very like the subject is quite the same, you know, like the violence and this freedom at the same time. So yeah, that's it. And maybe Tion can talk about the whale and the fantastic elements.
I think you are on mute.
No, you are mute.
Sorry. The whale we had in the short, but it was a very small whale, like a kid whale or something. Very, very low budget, and but it arrived in the film because when we were doing the research for the short at the time, we saw a stranded whale in the beach, and we had most of the elements for the film already. We were doing more like location research, but then we were like surprised by that, and it was so strong, and we thought to try to put the same feeling in the film. So also in order to represent a little bit this sense of awakeness and awareness that they are having sometimes so fast at this young age, and it was important for us that the film, we could represent it in a very realistic way, the way they talk and the way the camera shoots, and how we feel a part of the group among them, but also to have some kind of magical elements to go to somewhere else to talk about those very strong feelings in a more magical, fantastic way, and also a very, very interesting gray area between those places that things that sometimes happens in real life or exist in real life that are as magical as as magical as some things that are just completely fantastic, but you don't believe it. It's real, but it is like the fluorescent sea at night, the blue sea. It was something that Duda told us when we were calling her to research, that when she did the same fishing with her father, they could see those natural manifestations of the fluorescent lights on the net when they are throwing to grab the fishes, and when a ray passes by the boat, they see like a trail of light, and it was so beautiful. And the way they communicate that to us make us dream a lot with those images. So there's a point that's it's real, but it's so incredible that it feels like it's not.
Yeah, and sometimes we put the whale, for example, we have the like more realistic scene at the beach, but at the same time, both dream with the whale, and it's the same whale, but the different whales actually, the same dream, like different dreams, but with a whale. So it's sometimes we put this also to connect both characters and to something more subjective of their emotions, and to go deeper in some feelings that we cannot really explain. So we wanted to mix these elements in the film.
Well, thank you. Yeah, in fact, like this is, I think, a good way to portray an internal discovery of the sense of sense and the sense of self when they find themselves both in front of the whale and say, I dreamt it, me too. I think that is where the clicking does, and that is when the coming of age of them both together come in. I wonder what, I mean, kind of sure that Tamara, I mean, not sure, but I can imagine Tamara having a very different, various life outside of that place, but I do wonder what's the destiny of heartless life, in a sense, in that community. But before me talking, I wonder if any of you guys have any question or comment for our directors. Yeah, I have 2 questions. Do you mind?
It's not exactly a question, but first of all, I like a lot your film, so thank you. And all the movie, I was thinking about Larry Clark or Gus Van Sant, and I was wondering if it's a reference for you, for example, kids or yeah, Paranoid Park or all this kind of film.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't really a reference, but we remembered a lot, like Larry Clark, for portraying also these kids with, like we see sex and we see things that we wanted also to put something, not as he puts, but to portray also the sexuality and things, and so I think we saw, we put in the list, but it wasn't really a reference for us. I remember one of our reference was Pichote. That's a Brazilian film, but I don't know if 𝐶𝐚 can talk more about that.
Yeah, I think about Larry Clark, for example, and also Elephant. Both films I saw, and as Nara said, they were not like on the list that we were trading and commenting about the films, but of course there are films that stayed with us because they are so strong, and they define that age, and Kids was actually shot about the time that we portrayed. So of course, I think we have some kind of connection in a more like a soul or energetic way. I think it's pretty much about it. The shot for sure. It was.
The shot is from Hector Babenco. Yeah, Hector Babenco is the director of this film that was very portraying this reality of the kids in Brazil. So it was very strong for us and very like the violence and things.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It's a little bit more metropolitan, no, but.
Yeah.
But it's such a strong film. If you don't know, it's really worth to look at it. So beautiful, and also very violent. Yeah, we had some references that would go from Alice Rovacha to Dardenne also sometimes. I think
Lucrezia Martel always.
yeah. It's more, I think it was more like pieces of or elements that we like in some films than like completely films that we would like to do like our version of it. It was more like, oh, we like this, how she treats the sound in this scene, or how the camera, they were close to the characters in the party scene. So it was a very pieces of some films that we liked.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
I thought also the comment about Heartless staying in her place and what happens to her. I don't know if we thought so much about it, but for sure we don't see even that Tamara has more financial conditions, and goes away to a better education and all. She's very she's not super happy, as you can see, and it's a conflict on itself, because she's living the paradise and a very good life and their friends. But Heartless, I think we never see her as someone that would give pity for her destiny, or someone that it's like a sad ending, because we always see her as a very strong character. And sometimes people think, what, maybe Heartless, she has powers and she's a bit like a fantastical character, a bit mysterious, and we like also her real life that we can see in the film. But for sure, to have her heart condition and to be kind of bullied and excluded, and but resting with her head up above all, and finding that strength to fish and to support also her father, and to come across all those difficulties, we always see her as a very strong force, and maybe a superpower in that sense, maybe a bit magical in that, as we have this kind of admiration for the character.
Oh yes, sure. Also, her superpower, you can see pretty well in the end when she's firing up everything, which is great. We have a second question or comment here. Not sure.
Hello. First
Hello.
of all, thank you. I really love the film. Also, photography and sounds. And maybe I missed the information. Are the guys pro? Are they professionals or not?
Actually, we worked with mainly non-professional actors from the region. Like, we were searching for like people that could bring in their bodies like the reality, and they are living the place. So most of them, it's non-professional. The adults are professionals, so we mix it a little bit.
They are perfect. You make the right choice. But the question is, if you give them all the instructions, or if they help you to build the movie, because they have the right age, and so.
Yeah, actually, we wrote the script based in many boys from the region already, and we had the script like written, and we did 1 month of rehearsal with them to prepare. We invited someone also to help us to bring these scenes, and while we were rehearsing, we used to note, and he speaks like this. We were adapting the dialogues and things like that. We already tried to put as they speak, but we're adapting. And in the shooting, we had the script, but we also open to some improvisations. Like it was like a bit between. But we had to pay attention in how they used to play, because there wasn't one of them that never played before, and he was very good in reading and giving like the intonation, and if we wanted him to change a little bit subtle, he would change. And there was another one, this is 𝐍𝐵𝐚, for example, that plays the gay that is beaten, friend of Tamara. And 𝐍𝐴Lego, for example, he was we couldn't give him a dialogue. We would explain to him the scene, because if he reads the dialogue, he stays like very shy, because he, you know. So we would say, no, we will arrive and we talk more or less about this subject, and he was improvising more like in the lines. So it was very different. We had to understand how each one liked it, you know, to play and adapt ourselves to them.
Yeah, the part of 𝐍𝐴Lego, I think there are many things that he said on like a bit of improvisation on the rehearsals that we found it very smart or very funny, and we just wrote it down and just asked him to keep saying like he said this time, you know, because he created so many good lines and very funny.
Yeah, and for Tamara and Heartless, they were like pretty with the dialogue, and we changed it like we could direct it more precisely also. And Eduarda, that plays Heartless, she used to play in the short, and she did also other jobs in other films, not as protagonist, but she's very experienced nowadays. And I see her, she's from this village that we shot. She's daughter of a fisherman, and she's now living in a bigger city. I see her, I see Heartless a lot on her, actually, because she was the one that was living there, not with the same conditions as Heartless, but she's now, you know, like having another life, and it's very beautiful to see. So I see a lot Heartless on Eduarda, that played the role also.
Thank you again.
Well, actually, I was also very curious about the cast and the casting. So, as far I understand correctly, that you straight casted there, like in the area, the town where the film is shot. Is it all straight casting from kids from that area? And how about the grown-ups?
We did many kinds of casting. We did at the place, but also on the internet or in schools, or in Maceió, in Recife, in big cities also. But 𝐸𝐾𝐑, the guy who plays 𝐍𝐵𝐚, he's from Salvador. He has pages on Twitter and Instagram with I don't know, 100 200,000 people following. So he was a bit more famous, like but not an actor. He was making his videos and kind of social commenting. He was blocked by Bolsonaro. He's a guy that's a bit known in Brazil.
Yeah, but in general, we had 𝐸𝐾𝐑 is the exception. The others were mostly, yeah, we went to schools, but schools in the countryside, you know. So in the main city also, but it's very like they really care. They you know, like 𝐍𝐴Lego, it's from the countryside. His parents they work in the sugarcane plantations, and so it was, yeah, very, very mixed. One of them, the little one, is coming from a very poor community in Maceió. So we went there to search. So we did lots of research to find the people. And for Maya, for Tamara, she's a cousin of mine from 3rd degree, and I knew her. She was very little when we were writing the script, and she was growing up while we were working on the script, and she was 14. And we did, she used to live at the beach also where I used to live, and we did lots of tests with her, and we thought she could be a good Tamara to play the role. And yeah, so it was like that.
Yeah, the casting is really spot on. And you can tell the work of care that you've just described. The 1 month rehearsing with them and working differently with each of them according to how they are and how they what their approach is. This is really evident in the film because the matches, they work very well all together and they're all very well tied into the bigger thing. I mean, as I said, I think that this is a film about a lot of things. It's not just a coming of age, it's not just a coming out. I mean, it's not a coming out, but like an internal discovery of self. It's about friendship, family, nature, the power of magic, the fear, as you said, and all of these aspects. So well done, great for doing it. I think that we had. Do you have time for one more question? Yeah, do you? All right. Because it's quite late here in Milan, but I mean, it's such a privilege to have you here. So again, thanks for being here with us. So I'm
Thank you.
curious to know how the work between you two went on. Like, if you, how do you approach the writing together, the directing together? You've done it also in the short, and of course, if you're planning to do another film together.
Yeah, actually, we started to work to write together this film. Like, okay, let's write, but in different cities. So we have a program script, and we talked a lot before, like many ideas, and then to write the script, we were writing together. And then at a point, we decided, okay, I will write this scene, and you write this one, and then we change, and we, like, so there is like this look in all the film and all the script. And for directing, it was very natural. We didn't divide, like, I'm going with this, the camera, you go with the actors. No, we were like both together. So it was very a complement. Sometimes 𝐶𝐚 was looking to one thing and I was looking to other things. And when we put together, it works. But I think Heartless is a very specific project that we created together. We did the short and the feature. Very like this universe of both of us, because 𝐶𝐚 also used to go to this countryside to pass the vacations with his cousin. So we really put together our universe. But now we are like doing our solo projects from, yeah. 𝐶𝐚, you want to say something?
Yeah, it's pretty much that we had a very lengthy script writing with many stages, and the first one we did a little bit also together in when you were in Recife.
Yeah, and, that's true. The first beginning. Yeah.
And but it was it's very good because we were establishing the first ideas, but it's also very slow. We were like the way of writing we were doing together, and then we said, okay, now we need to do this film not in 10 years. So we did the process like Nara said, and it worked very well. And I think since the short we understand very well the nature of the film and what belongs to it and what we want to do. But in the future, there are so many things that, as Nara said, we prefer to do everything together. Otherwise, there are so many things to resolve, and that if we had the feeling that if I would take some and Nara take some, it would be more complex than to do like everything together and to be both of us understanding every step of the process very, very well, and always discussing insight together with the crew also.
It's very nice to discuss, like, because when you are alone, you just, you can discuss with the team, but it's very good to discuss some ideas of the direction in the film. It was very, very nice experience.
Yeah, also to communicate with the team, they knew since the beginning that we would need time after a shot, we would need time to discuss between us before, so to understand what's coming outside of us too. then to talk with the crew. So they were very understanding of that necessity.
Well, thanks. I think what you described is just a very honest way to go about screenwriting and collaborative writing and directing, and we can totally see that in the film in the end. I mean, very much congratulations from all of us because we have loved your film, and I've seen it twice actually, and the second time I could see even more things, of course, as it always is, right? So I do think that there is this is a film that need to be seen more than one time. So thank you very much. I'm afraid we need to wrap it up because, as I said, it's pretty late here. But once again, thanks for being with us. Thanks for to Cinema Beltrade to hosting us. And bye. Good luck. Bye bye
Bye
from
bye.
us.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
the
you very
Bye.
film.
much.
Best wishes.
Ciao.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye. Bene. Grazie a tutte e a tutti. Buonanotte.